Hi guys, and welcome to Science Station number 2. Today you're going to be working with your group. You're going to get a piece of paper. Each of you need your own piece of paper. And I would like for you to brainstorm as a group the different types of scientists. And I want you to think big here. Don't narrow it down. Brainstorm huge. So types of scientists could be a nurse, a chemist, a pharmacist. Step out of the medical and start thinking educational. Maybe a professor at a college, somebody like me who teaches science to fifth graders. I'm a scientist. I think about science all the time. I do experiments all the time. I'm a scientist. You're a scientist. You do science experiments all the time. So think big. Lots of different types of scientists. Once you've got 10 or 11 different types of scientists, then I want you to pick what kind of scientist might you want to be. And I know that not all of you want to be scientists, silly people. Everybody wants to be a scientist. But think about what kind of scientist you might want to be. Maybe you want to be an electrical engineer or a mechanical engineer. Think about what type of scientist might interest you most. An astronaut. I've always wanted to be an astronaut. Anyway, then think of 5 tools that type of scientist would need. If it's a nurse, what kind of tools do nurses use? Well, they use thermometers, they use scales to weigh people, they use blood pressure cuffs, they use stethoscopes, they use needles. So think of the 5 kinds of tools that those types of scientists would use. Okay? Make a list of those. So put the type of scientist that you might want to be. List 5 types of tools that scientist might use. A teacher, I would use a smartboard. I would use a computer. I would use a dry erase board. I would use all kinds of things. Books, textbooks. I would use notebooks. I would use, what else would I use? I would use a clipboard. Okay. So what kinds of tools would I use? I would use beakers. I would use triple beam balances. Okay, so enough of that. I've done half your assignment for you. I'm going to be quiet now and make you do the rest. Then what you're going to do is pick up one of these pieces of paper right here. And it says here to draw a scientist at work. So it could be you in your lab. It could be someone else, a rocket ship. It could be somebody out like a archaeologist out on a pyramid. Whatever kind of scientist you come up with, okay? That goes on that side. You must label it. What type of scientist are you talking about? Okay, on that. And you need to include the tools that they're using and label them in your picture. Make sure those tools make it onto the picture. Then on the back, here, it tells you that you must make a list of the types of tools and the 5 tools. Write a few paragraphs about your job as a scientist, telling what that scientist does and what kind of skills it might take. If you're a nurse, you better have some compassion. If you're a teacher, you should have more patience than I do. You better have a sense of humor. You better have a curiosity to you, right? If you're an archaeologist, you better have an interest in old objects and a good steady hand to be able to dig in the dirt and be able to find old objects. So what is the best part of being this type of scientist? Okay, so you're going to write to me on the back of this. When you are done with this, this also gets your name on it. Let's see, where do I want your name? I want your name up at the top. Okay, this side at the top. And this can also go in the red and blue bins. If you have not traveled with me to my red and blue bins, come with me now. Here we go. So we're going over here behind the table. See the round table? Behind this. over here. Blue carpet. Doo, 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 doo. Here are the red and the blue bins. If you're in Hawkins' homeroom, you're red. If you're in McGuire's homeroom, you're blue. So make sure your name's on it. Make sure that you put it in the right bin according to your homeroom. Bye. Thanks so much. See you later.